podcast. I'm not going to be.
No, you will be, but it's you can walk. Anyways, hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to the show. It's 7 minutes past 9 o'clock. I'm running a little late because I had a late meeting. Bob Bradbury is our guest, and every Wednesday, well, kind of every other Wednesday, he joins us for a wrap-up of politics. I'm interested in politics because I'm like I like to watch a fight from a distance, you know what I mean? You know, oh, fight! I like to yell, fight! And everyone goes in, and I'm the guy from the distance who goes, oh my God, yeah, come on, guys, yeah, put up. Anyways, welcome, Bomber Bradbury. How are you?
Really well. It's you can feel that winter's coming on.
Oh man, winter's coming on.
And you feel that electricity price just burning. As soon as you go near your heater, you actually feel your wallet get thinner. It's like an immediate reaction. It's like, oh, how should I just let the kid have frostbite this week, or put the heating on for an hour? You know.
But can I say that for real, if someone's having an issue with their health, they always put it off in case.
Oh, they do. They wrap it. Get a blankie out. Hot water bottle.
The budget. Let's quickly go on to the budget. Is that benefiting poor people?
I think that we are so screwed geopolitically and economically right now that there's no easy way to try and soften the blow. You think about it. Since 2008, all of the central banks around the world have printed trillions, $25 trillion in quantitative easing. And that has artificially lowered the interest rate to the lowest interest rate in 5,000 years. You have to go back to, let's just be clear about that. 5,000 years of human civilization. You have to go back to Mesopotamia.
Right. So you can explain. The OCR has gone up. Is this part of what's going on?
Yeah, and it has to keep going up because it's the only way they can put a brake on the inflation rate. It's to stop people spending. And the problem for New Zealand is 60% of New Zealanders who have mortgages are resetting their mortgage this year. And a lot of people who you talk to are walking out from maybe 3.5%, 3.6%, 3.7% straight into a 5-6, you know?
Yeah.
And it's going to hurt first-time home buyers the worst. And look, there's a potential that some will go to the bank on this. They'll lose their house.
Fuck, this is crazy.
Oh, it's and the crazy thing is that it was another 50 points today. The Reserve Bank governor is talking about increasing it from 2 to 4. So you've got another 2% to go this time next year. So expect that 2% that where it is right now, that'll be 4% this time next year.
How does the OCR affect petrol and food? Does it?
It doesn't affect petrol and food. The idea is that the less money, or the money that's taken out of the economy, it won't move so quickly around, causing those other prices to go up. But these are classical economic principles, right, of supply and demand. The problem we've got right now is supply side problems. It's not a demand problem, it's a supply side. We can't get enough goods into the country, and we can't get enough goods into the country because China has shut down all of its ports because of COVID, and we can't get the base materials out of the Ukraine.
Doesn't China hate us? Everything I'm seeing on the like breakfast TV, 6 o'clock news, China hates us because what are we doing wrong?
We are not respecting the People's Republic of China. The People's Republic of China is very much a culture of saving face, of having face, and of not backing down in any way, shape, or form. And of course, they have quite an authoritarian government that has a very relaxed view towards human rights.
Yes.
And so it clashes constantly with us in the West because we value those things. I mean, today you had all of these terrible footage of one of these Uyghur bloody work camps and the terrible things they do. China is feeling encroached and pushed around by us, and they want some respect. I think what's really surprised everyone is this new military base in the Solomon Islands, which allows China to be able to project directly into our neck of the woods. And also it allows their fishing fleets to be able to gain access to our fishery. So that's why people are quite concerned about the Solomon's base island, military base.
Prime Minister's tour to America doesn't lock in with the president. They could Zoom, though, can't they? This is like a story about nothing, or is it?
It's important for Biden to be seen with Jacinda. It's important for Jacinda to be seen with Biden. The only reason they haven't had that meeting in the Oval Office is because there's the possibility that Jacinda might give Biden COVID, and that wouldn't look very good. But America certainly wants to stand shoulder to shoulder at this stage with everyone who's lining up against China, because they very much want their interests in the Pacific.
My thoughts are, they cancel, they can't make the diaries work in person, but surely there's a Zoom that they can confirm it.
Look, I mean,
but locked in on going, you're leaving without an actual confirmed date.
You have to meet the president in person. It's Zooms for losers.
What do you say about Biden being an incoherent geriatric?
This is how Tucker Carlson referred to Biden earlier today when he responded to the latest atrocity of some nutter walking into a primary school and opening fire on children. I think that he was very emotionally present during his speech. I think you saw the true grief. I mean, this is a father who's lost his own children before he's died. A parent outliving a child is a great sin. I think that he showed the right level of anger and sickening numbness that I think everybody feels whenever they hear there's another bloody shooting in America and some twat's gone off and butchered a bunch of kids. I mean, their desire to be able to have submachine guns because of a weird reading of their own constitution it's almost quasi-religious now.
It's disgusting.
Oh,
it really is.
Who would shoot kids, for Christ's sakes?
Okay. So what did I say with the budget? The budget seemed to be wishy-washy, and there like a lot of media going, it's the kind of lost budget. It didn't do a lot for Maori, but it kind of did a lot for Maori. It's focused on the environment, and it's focused on hospitals. But you know what? To be honest, if you ask me, I think budget was actually bloody good.
I think the budget tried to be all things to all people and so failed a whole bunch. I mean, we are dealing with so many black swans that are all trying to land at once in our economy at the moment. It's difficult to know what to do. I mean, the Treasury forecast is suggesting that by the third and fourth quarter, all of these migrant students and also migrant workers and international students and tourists coming back into New Zealand will somehow magically prop up the economy and also lessen will also so we'll have a lot more people coming into the economy, yes. And this will bring inflation down. This is the argument. Now, I just don't see how that's going to work in a planet where COVID is still a major problem, in a planet where the Ukrainian war is still crumbling on, and in a planet where the Chinese are still going to lock down any single time somebody tests positive with
Why
COVID.
do the Chinese want to be our enemy? Why are the Chinese being the bouncer at the door? Why are they being imposing when they love golf, karaoke? They are the tourist mecca. Why are they being so? What are they going to protect over there?
I think that there is major economic problems deep inside China, which the Chinese government are terrified of. Remember, this is a country that's built on revolution by the peasants. The promise of the Communist Party to the people of China is we will look after everything for you. There won't be any problems. You give up certain amount of civil liberties, but we will provide for the nation. And the problem, I think, for China, particularly with COVID, is it doesn't matter how authoritarian your regime is. A virus is a virus. Virus doesn't care that you're the Communist Party. The virus is going to do what it needs to do. And because Xi has staked his leadership on keeping China COVID-free, which I think is an impossible mission, he doesn't care how much resource he pulls into it. Remember, in November,
China and Singapore are locked down. There's like
and you look at with China. I mean, I think it was about 45 megacities have been locked down. That represents almost 40% of GDP in the entire country. Just shut down, completely locked down. Economically, this.
Oh man, how are we going to get our fake bags through? How am I going to get my fake Rolex I bought online?
You can't, and this is a challenge for global just-in-time capitalism supply chains, right? You can't rely on them any longer, and this is what I think is so problematic for all the economic forecasting. This is a unique situation. None of the Keynesian theory, none of the Milton Friedman theory, none of the theories are set up to try and match a situation where you've printed trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars of debt and the whole bloody thing's going up down the gurgler. What do? Spend more money or spend less? I mean, this is the problem. We have got inflation at a 30-year high. The Americans have it at a 40-year high. It ain't going away.
We've spent so much money on like Jacinda's touring the world. We are open for business, but no one's coming to New Zealand.
Oh, no. And why would they? I don't think we've understood the psychological impact of what we've all just gone through. Remember, this was a universal, unique experience. We all felt it at the same time. It was psychologically shocking. It was frightening. Even now, with all of the restrictions, most of the restrictions lifted in New Zealand, and you can pretty much go around and do what you like. People aren't pouring out to the clubs. People aren't pouring out to restaurants. People have narrowed their field of the world, and they're living hunkered down in their own little existence, in their own little bubbles at the moment. And that's going to take a while for people to feel not so frightened to go out. And I think at the moment we're just not calculating the full psychological impact of what we've gone through over the last 2 years.
Did you read that is this on the Labour Party website?
No, I advise them. They write down. So they
follow you.
I give them the lines. They break it down for them.
That's a fucking great line, mate. Okay, fine. But really, we need pickers of fruit. Like there's $100 million worth of fruit on the ground.
Isn't it weird?
Stocking our bars. Isn't it hospitality people? But we've opened up we just assume they'll come back. No one's come back.
Nah. And it's funny, isn't it? We've got $100 million worth of apples on the ground. So why haven't we invested in more New Zealand Kiwi labourers with better wages and better conditions? We're still reliant on Pacific Islanders to come over and pick our bloody fruit because we won't.
Why? Because the minimum wage is so high. No one's prepared to pay a New Zealander $25 an hour.
Right. So your $100 million goes to waste then, doesn't it? Because I don't think the relying on cheap capital from overseas is going to be the way to grow any longer. We have to do it with what we've got here.
For the New Zealand poor with under $70,000, they're getting $350
free grant bucks. Get your $350 grant bucks now.
It doesn't mean bullshit in the real world. That is bubble gum. That's takeaways. That's Netflix paid for a couple of months.
That's
is the Labour government out of touch with the poor?
It's $27 a week for 13 weeks. So you're talking about 2 Big Mac combos a week.
Yes.
Will 2 Big Mac combos a week help alleviate the cost of living crisis? Jesus wept. No, it won't. And everyone who's living through this knows that. Yes, they've extended the petrol fuel freeze. Yes, they've extended public transport, making that half price.
Petrol fuel freeze, it's been frozen, but the prices have gone up. That's
because the external factors keep pushing and keep driving it up. And this is the fundamental problem.
We're literally paying $4 a litre if there was no government.
Yep. And it's only going to go up, Thane. It's because the war in the Ukraine is not stopping anytime soon. They're talking about that war stretching on into next year.
Hold there. Adam Corbett says we need to reopen the refinery at Marsden Point.
Amen.
Yes. Jobs. Cheaper fuel. Come on.
It makes no sense whatsoever for us to be shutting down fundamental infrastructure like that at a time when the geopolitical shockwaves are just going to come at us with more and more ferocity. Things aren't getting better. We are heading towards an economic recession. War, famine, plague, and death all ride on the apocalypse. It's bad times, and it ain't going to get better. This year ain't going to get better. Next year ain't going to get better.
Shit ain't going to get better. What the fuck are we going to do? I can't jump.
Well, look, I'd like to try and break it down in some way that's not so bleak. But trust me, if you think shit's bad now, wait until the full impacts of the Ukrainian wheat crop failures, the Russian wheat crop failures, the barley oil.
I'm going to say, if I give up bread, and if I give up anything to do with bread and wheat from Ukraine, am I okay?
Well, see, this is the problem, though. What you're going to start seeing is your Kiwi saver going down, the value of your property going down.
I've lost $15,000.
Right. Interest rates going up. When you're paying $10 for milk and $10 for bread, it's still going to be hurting you.
You can't win an election with everything going up. And also,
no one can.
But you can put more excise on the supermarkets. There was a wet paper slap to the face from the Government Commerce Commission to the supermarkets. They slowly fooled in line and gave us some bogus bullshit kind of, we're giving you discounts, right? These guys, Labour needs to win an election, but they can't do it if everyone's prices. Can I just be honest with you, Bombs? I pay, what was it, started as $93 was my weekly shop.
Yep.
My $93 went up to $130.45.
Yes.
My $145 then went up $163.
Yes.
I'm paying $200 for my weekly shop now. And
right.
And that is when it's just me and I have kids every other week. We can't live. We can't survive. The gas is up. The food is up. The rent is up. Assholes who own all the property are putting their properties up. Seriously, how can we survive and then vote Labour? It's impossible.
And this is the struggle that this government has. They have got to lower everyone's universal costs in a way. And this is why I've been arguing for a long time that they need to pick up the Commerce Commission's recommendations, seize 30% of the supermarket industry, form their own competitor, and permanently lower the prices in this country. Because you're absolutely right.
They're losing this election. Because the environment is one thing. It's something we can't see. But food on the table is something we absolutely can see. The gas is something we can see. But the environment right now and cycle lanes for fucking Aucklanders who want to go over from Auckland to the north, city to the North Shore. Give me a fucking break. Here's the big thing. Why can't they remove GST on fresh foods and vegetables? Why is this going to be? This is going to be played later on the piece. Do you know something about this?
You're on the money. It's absolutely righteous to take GST off fresh fruit and vegetables. It's righteous to take it off food. Let's permanently lower that cost to every New Zealander. The reason why they don't do it is because the tax boffins and the tax accountants and all the weirdos come out and go, oh, but our system is so beautiful. You can keep paying that tax on food because it makes things so simple. Whereas the rest of us go, get fucked.
Take it off.
If your issue is just the simplicity of and you don't want to damage the architecture of go get stuffed. Go get stuffed, because we're talking about hungry people, and we shouldn't have to keep people hungry so that your architecture of the tax system is
I'm not
beautiful.
like I'm not hungry. You're not hungry. But I've met some really hungry people.
Yeah.
They're diving in bins to make things.
Right.
They're selling shit. They're stealing stuff.
Yeah.
Crime's going up because they can't eat. What's the thing?
And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
The crime has gone through the roof. There's a killer bees, and there's some kind of other shit. There's
tribesmen.
Yep. There's ram raiding.
Yes.
What the heck? Like, I mean, we can't
Well,
stop.
you know, as stressful as things are for you and me right now, and as difficult as it is for some people who are watching the show, and as hard as things are, for people further down the food chain, it's even worse. It's even more intense. You got to go get that fixed. You got to go do some violent things to get that fixed, to get those dreams, to get all of those things that we take for granted. There's so much pressure.
Someone's minority fans, someone's in prostitution, someone's fucking stealing a stereo. You know?
Oh yeah. And again, this level of desperation is only going to get more acute. There's nothing on the horizon that says things are going to get cheaper before December next year, for Christ's sakes.
Can you win an election with this shit going on?
I think it's impossible for any government to be able to win with what's going on, because the solutions are so radical and are required such a complete rethink of everything we're doing in this country that's just too scary. That people want simple bloody answers, right? Why is my life getting worse? What are you going to do about it? Well, National have got no answers. ACT have got no answers. What Labor's trying to do is say, okay, well, we'll have a slightly higher GDP to debt ratio, maybe in the 40s.
I'm just saying, ACT are going backwards in my mind. ACT are putting fuel on the fire, which is already burning, but they've got no solutions, and the solutions they have got don't work.
Cutting off the Ministry of Ethnic Affairs, cutting off the Ministry of Maori Affairs, cutting off the Ministry of Women's Affairs, cutting off the Ministry of Youth Affairs, and dumping the Human Rights Commission. He's taking a rusty chainsaw to the state and amputating its face for shits and giggles, just for the ideological funds of it, you know? And I just don't think that's serious.
It's a fucking media grab from it's a media grab from Britain. Surely. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay. Foreign Affairs Minister Mahuta, what's her face? Come on.
Nanai Mahuta?
Out of her depth. She's out of her depth.
In what way?
No, she hasn't. Someone brought up a story. Am I in a situation where I'm believing the, PR that I shouldn't be believing? They should be talking to the Russian consulate. They're not. They've not extended any communication there. Is she out of her depth because she hasn't actually talked to these guys?
Yeah, because I think Putin is just actually waiting for Nanai Mahuta to ring him and say, the people of New Zealand are very unhappy with you. And he'll go,
email, bombs, an email. We think you guys are doing the wrong thing. Turn around.
She could have called in the ambassador, but I really don't think there's much point at this stage. I mean, Russia's acting like a failed country. Putin is making decisions that have been unbelievably disastrous for the Russian people. We've made statements publicly. Let's be clear, we've made statements publicly. I just don't know what use there would be in telling the Russian ambassador, your president's a dick.
But do you believe the rumors that he's dying of some kind of cancer?
Oh, I think that when the West backed the coup in Kazakhstan in January, and you saw him at that time looking quite puffy and angry. I think he's looking down the annals of time of his role in the Russian hard men, and he's saying to himself, have I left Mother Russia a stronger or weaker place? And I think he is ill. And I think that would explain some of the decision-making process and the haste in the decision-making process he's been making. But all of this just makes him more desperate and the situation more dangerous rather than finding any resolution. If he is sick, it's problematic.
To be honest, a slow mission that he's done right now, right, has caused a lot of chaos.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, weirdly, what a great situation for him.
Because he gets.
Right now, it's a slow scenario. Never called a war, but maybe an invasion.
Yep.
Controlled the media. We've kind of like taken cues. We've called it a war, but he's not. He's had a very, very
methodical.
Yes, invasion. And
yeah.
And it's stressed the people out. He's moved 100 million people or whatever it is out of the fucking situation.
Yeah.
He's caused so much chaos. So I think maybe he could be the winner in the end.
And the longer this goes on, the more destruction to the global economy.
That's how you work a war, right? Because
yeah.
The reason is to have a land grab. This is your fucking situation. This guy is actually in a war. He's killing it.
Yeah. And remember, Russia and the Ukraine produce between them 15% of all the tradable calories on the planet. So them being out of operation is going to have a domino effect in the Middle East in terms of food prices. It's going to have a domino effect in Africa in terms of food prices. And you will see before the end of this year, food riots throughout the Middle East.
If you're saying bombs, he takes 50% of all the wheat stuff.
Yep.
What a fucking whip to have over the world.
Oh,
it's like
including petrol. Don't forget
a real smart move.
Yeah, including petrol as well, and base metal ingredients, and I mean a whole bunch of things that you don't even realize are all produced out of Russia. And this is going to have a knock-on effect all the way through to the end of December next year.
What does it mean for us at the pump? And
we're going to go into a deep, steep economic depression.
Recession or depression?
No, depression, not recession, a depression, a global depression.
How's that going to affect my Kiwi?
Oh, it's not going to look good. It's not going to. I wouldn't look at it. Don't look at it. Don't look at it for a decade.
Okay. Adam Corbett says, do you truly believe prices will drop? I think they'll slow on the increase, but nothing will drop from where it is.
Oh, is this prices as in food prices or house prices? Either one. House prices, I think, will continue to drop. And I think that they're talking 15 to 20% now. In terms of food inflation and the price of everything, oh no, they're just going to keep going up. They're just going to keep. You will be paying $10 for milk, $10 for bread by December.
You know what? You came on the show a month ago. You were saying 5, and I was outraged. But now you've adjusted that to 10.
Yeah.
Look, crime is going to go through the roof. So
Oh yeah.
Are you saying Kiwis should arm themselves or put cameras up? What is the best way of sorting your shit out? Because if you got something in the garage, I've got a ride-on mower, I've got a van, I've got a car, I've got a things I like downstairs, and I got insurance. That's what I got. That's the best way of protecting myself, right? Because people need stuff, and they're going to fucking steal it.
Oh, they are. The crime is just going to, because people who have not previously been need. I mean, what's going to happen now is things are going to get so bad so quickly. It's going to be need that's driving their thefts. They're going to be doing it because they need to eat that week. They need that money for there's going to be desperation to it. And when people's desperation goes up higher, the violence increases, the tensions increases, the stresses increases. I mean, we're already seeing this with our domestic violence spiking. We're already seeing it with food bank needs spiking. These are going to be some seriously heavy times. And I think this is part of the COVID process, right? You know, you had the first wave, which was physical health. The second wave is going to be the economic carnage. And then the third wave is the psychological trauma that the last couple of years has had on everyone. In terms of you personally, insurance, yes, but you're going to have to get locks and a beware of the dog sign. That's the best you got.
Monkey virus. What's going on there? Just quickly.
Monkeypox. It looks like this has been something that's been spread predominantly by gay and bisexual men. It's acting in a funny way. It's acting in a funny way where it's sexually transmittable. That's monkeypox normally isn't. No. I'm not joking. I'm not gay and bisexual men, and it's being transmitted sexually.
Are you saying that? Oh, you are.
Are you saying someone had sex with a monkey? I don't know how the crossover has occurred, but within the human species, it's being spread sexually.
Okay. Wow. Who would have thought? I mean, it's going to be elite, right?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm guessing someone who had close contact with a monkey.
Close contact? Are we talking like Michael Jackson kind of close contact?
I think broken. Like if it scratches you, if you've got broken skin and it's got it, you would catch it that way, right? But then if you then went and had sex with a person and you had it, you would then pass it on to the human being sexually.
Luxton.
Yes.
He's saying everything but saying nothing. He's got a reaction to everything, but really says nothing. Is this guy just waiting it out for the end?
I mean, look,
he's doing a great job at doing absolutely nothing except smiling and being white.
What National is selling is his certainty. Okay, I mean, he's a CEO buffhead with no intellectual curiosity whatsoever. But what he knows is that God loves him. His evangelical God loves him, and because he believes in prosperity theory, his 7 properties are proof that Jesus loves him. So what he has is
I don't accept that, Bomber. I don't accept that.
He has a self-certainty. And National is selling his self-certainty. He's got no policies.
He's got a confidence and a belief of a real estate agent in Ponsonby Road. I know, I totally get that. But is he the leader of the next government of New Zealand? And you know what? All signs. If I'm listening to News Talk TV, if I'm listening to National Radio, and if I'm listening to Today FM, everyone is fucking smashing Jacinda and all the decisions made. You know, out of 100%, I think 62% are actually right, and the rest are like have no merit whatsoever. Are we in an election year, or am I joking? Is it next year?
No, it's election year is next year, but you're absolutely right. There has been an immense turning off from Jacinda.
Yeah.
People are sick of her. People find the kindness thing annoying now.
Annoying.
And it's because in their own worlds, they're suffering now. The economic pain is really hurting. And when you have someone smiling, nodding condescendingly, you don't feel empathy in someone hearing you and listening to you. You just go, you don't know what my pain feels like, damn it. And you get angry. The problem is that all of this faith is moving towards National without really understanding what National stand for. And I fear that the problem is that David Seymour is so far smarter than Chris Luxon that David will get everything he wants and then some in whatever negotiations. I think the quick yellow fox is going to jump over the lazy blue dog because Luxon doesn't have any intellectual curiosity. David Seymour will say, I want this, and Luxon will go, all right.
Okay. Fuck. What an election next year.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be incredibly polarized because what ACT is suggesting is just an outright romper-stomper hard right agenda. And if National...
But also in that, there's magic in that, and you can't deny it.
Because people are sick of everything and just want to burn it all down.
Right, yeah, totally, absolutely.
Without knowing what that means or what that entails.
What about the minor parties? What about Green? What about everybody else? What about the Maori Party? What about TOP? What about all those guys?
Well, I mean, I think that the Maori Party, Greens and Labour need to be talking now what their platform would look like next year, because that's the only way Labour gets into power, with the Greens and the Maori Party. New Zealand First, Winston's out there hunting, TOP are out there hunting. But it's hard to get over 5%. Let's not pretend it is.
Why can't we bring the thresholds down?
Well, that's what Golriz has suggested with her new bill that's been drawn out last week, bringing the threshold down to 4 and losing the coattailing function. But even that is going to still lose us a lot of vote. I just think that the level of economic pain that's coming is going to turn everything on its head, and it won't be a normal election.
Hosking is saying that the tour of America is a waste of time. You could do it through an email, or you could do it through some kind of, I don't know, TikTok. Is the tour of America a waste of time with Jacinda?
He is so wrong with that.
Right.
Right now, we need urgently for our own geopolitical security, we need to move away from being economically dependent on China, and we need to start putting our bloody economy back into America if we want to avoid a confrontation with China.
Can I just stop you there? What's our out of 10? What's our relationship like with China, and what's our relationship like with America?
I think our relationship with China is a 5, and I think our relationship with America is a 7.5.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Do you think the Prime Minister is going to actually meet with Biden at the end of the day?
Oh, I think the Americans very much
already knows, and this is just a home and away storyline that she's fabricked. You never know.
I think the American administration very much wants a picture of Biden with Jacinda because they know how popular Jacinda is with the Democrats in America, and they also want to geopolitically show that they have complete support and strength with their Pacific allies. So there's more. There's actually more in this for America than there is for us in the photo op.
Without a doubt, Jacinda has got a huge popularity with, herself and her administration worldwide, but in New Zealand, it's just we're on the wane, right?
Oh, it's turned, and of course it's turned because everyone's angry and frightened and frustrated, and everyone wants to blame someone. That's just the normal turn of tides, right? And this is where you actually have to stand and show your values. And I think for next year, the way the left will fight is they will say, if you vote for National, you're getting ACT. And if they get in, it's this crazy time.
But if you vote for National, you're not going to get a Labor government.
No, you're going to get an ACT government.
And that government seems almost just like common sense with a slap around the ankles.
No, they are wide-eyed, free marketeer acolytes.
What's the biggest downside of putting ACT in the government?
The biggest downside is that they mean it. They actually would. They actually would cut those 5 ministries. They actually would cut the Human Rights Commission. They actually would dump $7 billion in welfare each year. Remember, that's a per annum cut, $7 billion.
Are you saying that if you invite ACT in the situation, the poorer are going to get poorer?
Oh, fudge! Immeasurably poorer.
What?
Yeah, very, very, very poor, way poorer.
Okay. Well, last question, because this is going to affect somebody tomorrow morning. What's going on with the gas? Because I'm using diesel, and it's going up to $3. And that's with Jacinda's, God bless you, discount.
Yes.
If there was no discount, I'll be paying $4 a litre. What the?
I
can't operate a business at $4 a litre. How is this happening? Is this just a EV move? What's going on here?
No. This is Russia shutting down its oil supplies to the rest of the world, and not being able to sell it into the West. This is the impact from that, and it's only going to get tighter. I mean, if there's a real increase in terms of military fighting, and let's say Putin does drop a tactical nuke on the battlefield, Jesus Christ, expect to be paying $6, $7, $8 a litre.
God, oh my God. Can I just say,
the potential to get way worse.
So, can you tell me, and as a strategist, what is Jacinda going to do to sell her government in the next 3 months or leading up to the election? Tell me, what are the key things that she can kind of rely on, results, to kind of
Well,
go.
I mean, I would be arguing that they need to make some big moves like the supermarket duopoly. They've got to give people some hope that things and prices are going to come down. You can't just ask the people to keep enduring pain. I would hope they would make some big, bold, brash announcement. Let's say the first $20,000 is tax-free for everybody. Build in some things like that.
The GST of fresh fruit, and that kind of thing.
That's when I'm saying visionary and imaginary stuff. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Lifting GST off those sorts of things. Unfortunately, I think that Grant is far too cautious a finance minister, and I think that what the Labour Party will rely on is the Vote National, Get Act. Vote National, Get Act, and they will run a fear campaign.
Can you tell me, is Jacinda obviously signs off on the budget? Going, he can't do a thing without her going, yes.
Yeah.
But she knows what's coming ahead.
Yes.
There's more to come. There's got to be more to come.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to save this. Is she fighting for us or she's fighting for power? What do you reckon?
I think she is trying to be the embodiment of the highest principles that she has in public office. I don't think that they are malicious or spiteful with their use of power. I think they're honestly trying to do their best for everyone. And that's a very difficult task in a pandemic.
That's a difficult thing to say publicly for you.
No, I've got respect for a lot of the people. I know a lot of the people in there. But this is government moving as fast as it does. I mean, you've got a whole bunch of vested interests that don't want change.
Their bullshit $300 or $27 a week just was a fucking joke. Does she really understand how much of a joke that was? Like, to be honest, she could have gone free KFC for 4 weeks. If you're hungry, go to KFC. I'll pay them that money.
Yeah.
Better out of the KFC than you will with $27 a fucking week. How out of touch has the Labour government become?
I think it's as out of touch as every government becomes. And
you know what? Unfortunately, Bomber, you're absolutely right. The national government couldn't be out of touch. The national government is the thickest condom in the world. You couldn't get a featherlight sensitive ribbed condom. Oh my god! Oh, but with two.
They are the thickest condom known to man.
They are the thickest condom. You might as well be fucking with a raincoat. But why isn't there a party that can come to the party? How can we change the government to allow someone with actually everyone loves left leaning and everyone loves medium and all that kind of stuff. But why can't we get it right? What are we going to do, for fuck's sake?
I just think that we are going to have to do better than we have, because this is a unique situation. We haven't seen this kind of global disruption for at least 50 bloody years.
You can bank on that. You can cook cookies on that for a million years. I get it. Since the dinosaurs. I don't want to hear that talk anymore. I want to know what's next.
Robert Muldoon's think big.
Right now,
Robert Muldoon's
fresh fruit. GST off food, fresh fruit right away. Duopoly on the supermarkets, done. We'll sort it out. Costco, warehouse, you sort that out.
Free breakfast and lunch at school.
Free public transport. KiwiSaver. If you are fucked up and your business is crazy, we'll give you $20,000 of that instant loan. Boom, you can have it. Start building your business again. These are the things that I'm drunk and I can just grab them out of my mind, but the Labour government can't come to the party with them. What the fuck?
You're right. I believe Thane Kirby for Prime Minister is a new movement. Whose time has come.
Mate. Okay. All right. Well, that's the end of the show, everyone. Thank you so much, Bombs. It's been a real pleasure. Thanks for being. I was late. Obviously, I was at the pub down the road. The jackpot was about to hit 900.
I know. Hey, you can't leave until the jackpot goes. You can't leave.
Exactly. Until next week. Thank you so much.
Very well, my friend.
All the best, buddy boy. See you soon. And that is the show, everyone. I hope you've had a lovely evening. And just like, what the fuck? It's just so simple. And I don't get why everyone, like the government, makes it so fucking hard. I could just make 3 sweeping decisions and they could happen for the good of us. We could save money, we could eat more, and our families be more secure. You own this, New Zealand. You are the power. But we're being dictated by fucking assholes. How long are you going to put up with it? Good evening.